Survivor 43 premiered on September 21st, 2022, as 18 new players began the 26-day journey in the third season of the new era of Survivor. The three tribes immediately competed in a challenge, and thanks to Cody's innovative idea, Bessie won flint, a pot, and machete. But the other two tribes still had a chance to earn supplies through the Savvy or Sweat challenge. Coco chose Sweat while Baka chose Savvy, and in the end, both were able to achieve their task. During their time working together on the Sweat task, the unlikely duo of Gio and Ryan bonded, as did Gio and Carla, bonding over being part of the LGBT community. We also saw a Girls Alliance form on Coco, and they attempted to pull in James as a fourth member to give them the majority, leaving Gio and Ryan on the out, with Gio being the most in danger. We would also see a Girls Alliance form on Baka, and they seem most threatened by Owen, whose super fandom showed right away, as he in fact was annoyed by his tribe for not playing hard. On Vessi, we saw three duos form in Noelle and Justine, Cody and NECA, and Jesse and Dwight, with Dwight and Jesse being the ones in the middle. Carla, Gabler, and Dwight were then chosen to go to the summit for a prisoner's dilemma. While Carla played it safe and protected her vote, Gabler and Dwight both risked their vote for a shot at an idol good for the first two tribal councils they attend. This paid off for Gabler, as he was the one to earn the idol, even telling his entire tribe, while Dwight lost his vote. At the immediate challenge, Baka lost, sending them to the first tribal. At first, it seemed as if Gabler's game would rely on the shot in the dark, as he offered himself up to the tribe after costing them the challenge. However, Ellie wasn't down for this, as she really connected with Gabler, and instead turned the target onto Mariah for being the weakest link in the tribe. Mariah was still hopeful that the girls would work together, and they could pull Sammy into their alliance to blindside Owen, but at tribal, the tribe unanimously agreed to get rid of the weak link in Mariah, making her the first boot of Survivor 43.
Mariah, the tribe has spoken.
Bye.
Episode 2 now, a 90-minute episode, and the show needed every minute of it, and it really does prove why Survivor needs to go to 90 minutes full time. On Baka, Sammy proposed the guys' alliance since they were in the majority, but it seemed that all game talk was going past Gabler, as his entire episode pretty much revolved on how bad his body was getting beat up by the elements, with it even looking like for a second he would get medevaced. At the meaty challenge, Baka responded well to their loss by coming in first, while Coco finished behind them, sending Vessi to their first tribal. Jesse and Dwight were in the middle of the two young girls and NECA and Cody, with Justine and NECA being the targets for each duo. However, it was really only Jesse who was the swing vote, as Dwight couldn't vote, and this proved pivotal, as Dwight wanted to keep Justine, but Jesse was threatened by her, especially after she called him out right to his face. So, it looked to be an easy 3-2 Justine vote, right up until Cody couldn't help himself and decided to go for the Beware advantage.
Each of your tribe mates has one special distinctive bead attached to their personal bag. You must persuade each of them to give you their special bead. How you persuade them is up to you, but you cannot steal a bead. It must be willingly given to you by each player.
You can take my beads off of my bag.
What would I just see?
Yeah, you can take mine off.
No, I guess so. Contribute to the hat project.
I thought that Dwight was going to be very difficult, but he took it right off his bag.
You are sure?
I made a bracelet.
Noelle, there's no way she's partying with any of this stuff. So, I'm freaking.
We go into tribal not knowing if Cody had gotten Noelle's beads or not, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway, as Noelle and Justine split their votes on NECA and Cody, thinking it was indeed a split vote. But it's then revealed in a flashback that Cody did end up getting Noelle's beads, and now had an idol and his vote, and thus, Justine became the second person to be voted out of Survivor 43, going home in a 3-1-1 vote.
Thanks to NECA and Jesse, I got the beads just in the nick of time to take off the tribal council.
Second person voted out of Survivor 43. Justine, need to bring me a torch? Justine, the tribe has spoken.
Dwight was furious at Jesse for voting out Justine, but the two quickly made amends in hopes of working with each other in the future. Ellie and Janine then went through Gabler's bag and looked through the idol rules, and for some reason, believed that he would be stupid enough to not use his idol at the final tribal he could play it, and thus made him the target. However, Sammy immediately ratted out the girls, giving Gabler no choice but to side with the guys, making Ellie his target. On Coco, after initially not taking the Beware advantage, Carla couldn't help herself, and this paid off big time, as she was also able to get all her trimates' beads, thus giving her Coco's idol. At the immunity challenge, Vessi once again lost. Noelle, James, and Owen were then sent to the summit, where Noelle pleaded to the guys that she was in trouble, and she needed an advantage, and promised she would work with them come the merge if they let her get the advantage. James and Owen believed in Noelle, protecting their vote while she risked hers, earning a steal vote. And it looked like she might need to use it right away, as the majority three of NECA, Cody, and Jesse thought about targeting her. But at tribal, Vessi simply felt they had no choice but to keep the tribe as strong as possible to avoid coming back to tribal, and voted out their weak link NECA in a unanimous vote.
NECA, the tribe has spoken.
We kick off episode 4 with Gabler being comedy gold, waking up his trimates in the middle of the night when he was just simply trying to help.
Get the pod, stop putting the pod on the guys. I'll get one for you next.
I don't want it.
No answer. What did you put it on for? Blanket.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks, dude.
At the reward challenge, Vessi gained some much needed momentum as they won 10 fish along with the camp raid, with Cody using his sales skills to bargain with Coco. At the immunity challenge, Vessi came in first once again, and then proceeded to help Baka beat Coco, sending them to their first tribal of the season. It looked like Gio was the easy boot here, as again, that was the plan since literally day 1. However, we then got one of the most shocking Survivor paranoia implosions ever, as Lindsey, who was seen as a frontrunner at this point, completely blew up her game.
And something's just not adding up. I say that because this is Survivor, and it's never as easy as it seems. I don't understand why we have to keep going off if the plan's already in place.
I'm super paranoid that it's not even me tonight.
Trust the process, right?
If you're lying to me, I'm coming for you. I'm not playing. I will hunt you down.
I don't trust anybody right now.
Are y'all in alliance? That's the thing.
I don't feel like it at this point. I think Carla's lying to me too.
She's not. And the thing about it is, it wasn't Lindsey. Maybe 2 hours ago, and you didn't trust me, and you made us go.
At Tribal, Gio thought it was Cassidy and put his vote onto her, while Lindsey voted for Gio, but the rest of the tribe united against Lindsey, taking her out in a 4-1-1 vote.
Lindsey, the tribe has spoken.
Despite surviving a tribal he had no business in surviving, Gio was still in trouble, as Cassidy was furious at him for targeting her. However, the target for Coco was now on Ryan, as Carla wanted to keep Gio around due to having a stronger relationship with him, and Ryan's strength was no longer needed as a merge was approaching. On Baka, Janine and Ellie found the Beware advantage, but were caught by Owen and told him how it worked. They also told Sammy, and eventually were able to trick Gabler into giving up his beads, giving Janine an idol. But Sammy once again ratted out the girls to Gabler afterwards, leaving him pissed that he essentially gave Janine an idol, and would thus make the Ellie blindside that much harder. At the immunity challenge, Baka and Vessi didn't even need to band together to beat Coco this time, as they lost immunity for the second time in a row. Gio, Janine, and Jesse were then all chosen to go on a journey for another prisoner's dilemma, and they all risked their votes. In a good piece of karma, Jesse and Janine, who were in a good spot, lost their votes, while Gio, who was the one most in trouble, got the advantage. However, he completely wasted it, as he told Carla about his new knowledge is power advantage, making him a target once again, as she of course was the one with the idol, and if he ever found that out, he could take it away from her, and there would be nothing she could do about it. It's a shame this happened too, as Ryan looked to be pulling a Drew Christie, claiming he threw the immunity challenge to get rid of Cassidy, and even lied to her saying he knew he was in trouble as part of his grand scheme to blindside her at Tribal. And knowing she was for sure getting votes from Ryan and Gio, Cassidy channeled her inner Lindsey and started to get paranoid. But in the end, Carla simply couldn't let the knowledge is power stay in the game, and got James and Cassidy on board to vote out Gio, blindsiding him in a 3-2 vote.
Fifth person voted out of Survivor 43. Gio, that's 3. You need to bring me your torch. Gio, the tribe has spoken.
Episode 6 begins with a surprising merge, although of course, it's not technically the merge, as the final 13 had to earn their way into the merge. Luckily, Survivor learned its lesson and got rid of the hourglass twist, meaning that whichever team won this challenge would indeed be safe from the vote. Noelle correctly picked the blue team, consisting of Dwight, Gabler, Carla, Janine, Jesse, and Ryan, as those 7 were now safe from the vote. With no other immunity challenge, the other 6 were now on the chopping block, and it appeared that Cody was the easy target for those in trouble, given that he was the only Vessi member not safe. However, back at the celebration feast, Gabler made his target very clear.
Ellie went through my bag on day 3. So that's something for me that I remember.
By throwing out Ellie's name, I was trying to throw out Ellie's name.
Ellie continued to dig her grave throughout the day, as she initially tried to create the majority alliance to split the votes on James and Cassidy, only to tell James that she wanted to work with him. With Ellie's chaotic gameplay catching up to her, she became an easy target, and it was only then a matter of if Janine would play her idol for her. But at Tribal, Janine kept her idol, and Ellie's chaotic run ended in a 7-2-1-1 vote.
Y'all see what trusting Gabler will get you?
Ooh. Right back at you. Ellie, the tribe has spoken.
Thanks, Beth.
Janine was upset at losing her closest ally, but also realized that this was probably a blessing in disguise, as Ellie was taking her game. The final 12 were then given the task to choose pairs for the upcoming immunity challenge, but not wanting to cause conflict, they agreed to draw rocks. The first two pairs to finish would then all compete against each other for individual immunity, and in the end, Gabler would be the one to come out on top. With the consensus boot Ellie being gone, a new target emerged in Ryan for obviously being the biggest physical threat in the game, but Noelle suggested to split the votes on Ryan, with the real target being James, who was a social threat. Jesse, who had not trusted Noelle since day one, felt she was playing too hard and wanted her gone, but Cody felt Dwight was even more untrustworthy, and taking out Dwight would also weaken Noelle. At a confusing tribal, a core 7 emerged, as Jesse and Cody, and for some reason Sammy, sided with Coco to blindside Dwight in a 7-3-2 vote.
Dwight, tribe has spoken.
You're on your lifetime.
Glad to hear that. Time for you to go.
Have a good one.
Safe, man.
Episode 8 started with a flashback showing that due to all the scrambling, Jesse was the one to end up with Janine's idol. The catch was, though, the previous episode ended off with Janine giving her idol to Dwight. So for the entire week, all Survivor fans thought the idol was out of the game. A cool editing trick by production, and a huge shout out to Dwight for not letting the truth slip during his exit interviews. This now gave Jesse 2 idols, as Cody had given his idol to Jesse back in the pre-merge. The 4 outsiders of Gabler, Noelle, Janine, and Owen knew they were in trouble, but Sammy told them that he realized he was on the bottom of the Majority 7 alliance and was willing to flip. At the immunity challenge, after a majority of the tribe sat out to earn more rice, Owen won a much needed immunity as he was a serious target for the majority. So with Owen off the table, the target then switched to Janine for whatever reason. Janine campaigned for Ryan as he was a massive physical threat, and come on, why take out someone like her when she had just lost her closest ally and idol in back-to-back tribals? Not to mention, she's not exactly a challenge beast, at least on paper. However, since she was such an easy vote, and many likely realized that the next round would be a double boot, everyone played it safe and took out Janine in a 9-2 vote, making her the first member of the jury.
Janine, the tribe has spoken.
Everyone's strategy of playing it safe the previous round paid dividends, as Jeff announced that tonight's episode would indeed be a double boot, with the final 10 being divided up into 2 random teams of 5, with 1 person from each team going home. Carla won immunity for her team, while Cody won immunity and reward for his, meaning they would get to attend Tribal second and get to eat on peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for the day. In a first for New School Survivor, we got some saltiness between Owen and James, as they argued about the past couple of tribals.
Like, so I'm saying,
You're the one who like Sammy and I were gonna go. Who knows what he would have told me if you hadn't butted your way into that conversation. Supposed to do.
so
I did what you told me.
everything's my fault.
Oh, get over
Hey,
yourself.
man, like,
And he sold me Ryan.
And what did you do the first tribal council after the merge? Put my name down, right?
Yeah.
What did you do the next week? Put my name down, right?
No, I put Ryan's name down the next
Put
time.
my name down the first time. Can you tell me you put my name down the first time you did it?
No.
What's worse?
Owen appeared like the easy vote for being in the minority, but Noelle, wanting to make a big move and likely take the steal vote target off her back, came up with the idea to steal Owen's vote, making it seem to James that he was the target, and thus wouldn't play a shot in the dark, not knowing he was the real target. But the swing votes here were Sammy and Carla, as Sammy was down to take out a big threat like James, but Carla had been close to James throughout the game. But at Tribal, Noelle's plan worked to perfection, stealing Owen's vote only to save Owen, as James was blindsided in a unanimous 4-1 vote.
9th person voted out, the 2nd member of our jury, James. That's 3, that's enough. Need to bring me a torch.
Good move, guys. Like, for real, man. I'll take that as respect, though.
Yeah, that's a sign of respect.
See how far y'all get now.
James,
Tough.
tribe has spoken.
Cool beans.
Take a seat on the jury.
For the second tribe, we finally got the culmination of the Cassidy and Ryan rivalry that had been going on since the pre-merge. Jesse and Cody were clearly the swing votes here, as they even knew they had Gabler in their back pockets as well. They agreed that taking out Cassidy would piss off Carla, who they wanted to stay tight with, but at Tribal, they saw James was the one who had been voted out, so they pondered if taking out a bigger social threat like Cassidy, as opposed to a goat and Ryan, would be the better move, as Carla had likely already turned on Coco anyway. But in the end, Cassidy won her battle against Ryan, as Cody and Jesse agreed to spare her, sending Ryan to the jury.
Brian, tribe has spoken.
It's revealed that Sammy told Carla that he was voting for James no matter what, annoying Noelle and Owen, as that could have seriously cost them had she played her idol on James. At an all-time great reward challenge, Noelle looked all but done for, as she couldn't even get past the first part of the challenge, but then she pulled off the impossible.
Stay on it, Noelle.
An amazing job by Noelle. She's back here. There's Noelle. Noelle in one of the biggest comebacks in the history of Survivor.
Survivor. That is what this game is about right there.
After this insane comeback, Noelle got to choose 3 people to come with her on reward, and she chose Sammy, Jesse, and Owen, as the 4 of them got the chance to relax, enjoy a feast, and they all received letters from home. They also discussed strategy, with Noelle throwing out the idea of splitting up Cassidy and Carla. Ironically, back at camp, Cassidy wanted Noelle gone after her insane comeback, and in general feeling like she was a huge jury threat, as she obviously had an incredible story. After the immunity challenge, Cassidy won, taking the target off her. So with Cassidy off the table, the new plan became to split the votes on Carla and Sammy. But Jesse also came to the conclusion that Noelle was too big of a threat, and laid out the perfect plan to take her out.
Checklist number 1. You have to have a cover story.
How was your talk with Cody?
It was good. He just wanted his idol back.
Oh, you had it?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, now we're straight.
Checklist number 2. You always have to have a fall guy.
He said he wanted to go with us, but then he said he's going to take a shot for it. You.
Checklist number 3. You always have to have a backup plan.
You and Cody would be in a very powerful position.
I like it. I'm writing Noelle down tonight.
Yep.
And that's how to blindside somebody.
At Tribal, Jesse's perfect plan came to fruition as Noelle was blindsided in a 5-2-1 vote to become the 4th member of the jury.
Noelle, the tribe has spoken.
Good luck, everyone.
Owen and Sammy both knew they were in trouble, as they were the only ones left out of the Noelle blind side. A note was then dropped off to the final 7, and everyone looked to find a new advantage in the game, and that advantage was literally hiding in plain sight.
Give me some blue string, Jeff. Come on.
I would be embarrassed to know that it was found after I stopped looking.
Dude, which one of this plays apart, man, that's for sure. I don't know. I've looked all over, man. I saw nothing.
Cody would eventually be the one to find it, with the advantage being that if he chose the right person to win immunity, he would also get immunity. The immunity challenge was Last Gasp, a pure torturous challenge. Despite this, both Carla and Owen were able to outlast the current, with production deciding to reward both of them immunity, which meant Cody was also immune as he chose Owen to win. The target was Sammy now since Owen was safe, but Carla wanted to take out Cassidy. However, when she told Jesse this sketched him out, as he was surprised she was so willing to turn on her ally, and thus figured voting for Sammy would be smarter, but wanted to keep Carla out of the loop, with her vote for Cassidy hopefully turning the two against each other. But by the time Tribal Council came, it seemed that everyone had learned of the Sammy plan, with Sammy even playing a shot in the dark to no avail, and thus he was sent to the jury in a unanimous 6-0 vote.
Sammy, the tribe has spoken.
Thank you, bro.
Time for you to go.
A lot of fun, peeps. Cheers, bud. Good one.
Owen told Cassidy of Carla's original plan to target her, leading Cassidy to confront her ally, with Carla putting on a good act to Cassidy to believe she was still loyal to her. But Jesse also confirmed to Cassidy that Carla had plotted against her, which officially turned Cassidy against Carla. At the reward challenge, the team of Owen, Carla, and Cody won themselves a pastry feast. Carla told the guys she didn't have an idol, and they believed her, but Gabler told the truth back at camp, leading the guys to make an alliance against Carla and Cassidy, as that would make for an easy split vote. However, that plan went out the window when Cassidy won her second immunity of the season. After the challenge, Cody hatched a plan with Carla to make it seem like they would both play their idols, only for them to hang on to them, blindsiding Owen, and they would both be guaranteed a spot in the final 4. However, this was all a lie by Cody, as he told the men of his plan, assuring them they could blindside Carla as she wouldn't be playing her idol. However, between this great plan, and Jesse in general feeling like Cody would beat him in the end, he pulled off one of the greatest and most cutthroat moves in Survivor history.
Cody doesn't have his idol. I have. He gave it to me. I'll play the idol tonight. As soon as I play it, Carla's gonna get
She's gonna play her.
She's gonna get spooked.
And
she'll play her. So both idols will go, Cody will go, and then we can take out Carla next time.
If anybody has an advantage or an idol and you want to play it, now would be the time to do so.
Give me a minute. We decided to call people's bluffs, so I'm playing this for Owen.
For Owen.
Yep.
All right.
I will play mine. I'm gonna play this for myself.
Okay. 13th person voted out of Survivor 43. Cody, 3, that's enough. Need to bring me your torch. Cody, the tribe has spoken.
It's the finale now, and for the third straight season, the final 5 would begin the last stretch of the competition on a different beach, and would have the opportunity to earn an advantage at the next immunity challenge. Carla would be the one to find it, just beating Owen to the punch, but it wouldn't end up mattering as Owen would win immunity anyway, his third of the season. Owen brought Cassidy with him on reward, where Cassidy targeted Carla over Jessie due to feeling like her game was too similar to Carla's. Carla, knowing she was in trouble, tried to create the majority back at camp against Cassidy with Gabler and Jessie, only for her to try to turn the game around on Jessie as he was clearly the biggest threat. But at Tribal, Jessie removed that idea as he finally revealed Janine's idol in front of everyone.
I know I'm safe because I've been hanging on to this little thing since Dwight went home. And so I'm good. I'm good. I'm fine.
So with Jessie now off the table, Carla desperately tried to campaign for Cassidy one last time, even starting a live tribal. But in the end, she was simply too big of a threat, and was voted out unanimously after Jessie neglected her sole vote against him.
Carla,
Yes.
the tribe has spoken.
It's the final mini challenge now, and it was between Owen and Cassidy throughout, but in the end, Cassidy would be the one to come out on top, as she would also win her third immunity, guaranteeing herself a spot in the final 3. Jessie pretty much knew he was going to fire, and Cassidy made it clear she wasn't putting herself in danger, so it came down to Owen or Gabler on who would be the one going up against Jessie. They both actually campaigned to go to fire, but in the end, Cassidy chose Gabler, and Gabler absolutely dominated, and thus, Jessie's amazing Survivor run came up just short. Absolutely heartbreaking.
The fastest fire that has ever been made.
I gave it my all.
And sadly, Jesse, for you, after 25 days, that is the case. Need you to grab your torch.
Gave it my all.
Yes, you did. Jesse, the tribe has spoken. Time for you to go.
Gabler, Owen, and Cassidy, about as wild of a final 3 that you could have, pleaded their cases in front of the jury, as they all played vastly different games. But in the end, Cassidy, as many people felt would happen, pulled off another Erica, playing a very good, albeit under the radar game, winning Survivor 43 wait a minute, what the f is going on?
Gabler, 4 votes Gabler, 1 vote Cassidy. The winner of Survivor 43, Gabler. That's 5, that's enough.
Thank you.
We have our winner.
Thank you.
Yes, Mike freaking Gabler, the man who wanted to play a shot in the dark on night 3, looked to be on the verge of quitting, and was first introduced to the public with this picture, would win Survivor 43 in a 7-1 vote. And had it not been for James's straight vote for Cassidy, he would have been only the 3rd person in Survivor history to play a perfect game. Just absolute madness. No matter what you think about Survivor 43, one thing's for sure, this season will definitely not be forgotten.
I didn't know I could do that. All I can say is, if you even think for a second that you want to do this, do it. You'll find power in yourself.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video of Survivor 43 in 23 minutes. If you enjoyed it, then please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and check out my old school retrospectives of these in-blank minute Survivor videos as well. Let me know what you all thought of this season in the comments down below, and until next time, have a good one, guys.